All of my people, let's talk about neuro inclusivity. Now, gone are the days where disability was just physical. Now we have a new kind of disability. Well, it's not new, it's just that it's on the rise and hence it looks new. Where we have people who are neurodivergent. This means, or these are, people whose brains think differently from what we call normal. So there have been a lot of cases on the rise of neurodivergent people. These are people who have dyslexia. These are people on the spectrum, like autism. These are people who have ADHD. These are people who have learning disabilities. Now, being neurodivergent is not a disease. It just means that your mind thinks or is wired differently. It interprets and gives information differently from what we think or deem as normal. And I'm saying normal in quote. So in a world where people are neurodiverse, we have the neurotypical and the neurodivergent. It is important that we have an all-inclusive world. For example, at your workplace, do you have areas where an autistic person can go and sit when they need, more sensory input or less sensory input? Or are we only focused on the physical disability? Do we understand or do we teach our children on how to live with people who are thinking differently or who are wired differently? You know those people in our classes that we deemed as weird? They didn't act normal. Those children who often just stood up and left the class while the teacher is in the middle of a lesson. Those children who produce some kind of noise because they are seeking for some auditory input. Or those children who just did weird things. Well, we call them weird because we don't understand what they are. It's high time institutions, workplaces, schools come out for training on how to be neuro-inclusive. That no matter the kind of person who is in that institution, they are well catered for, whether it's an autistic person, whether it's a dyslexia person, whether it's an ADHD person, they are all welcome and they are catered for. If your institution just have the places where people with wheelchairs can walk and you think that you are inclusive, you're not inclusive. Luckily, we have institutions that do give training on neuro inclusivity and can come to your office or organization to help you set up such places at your workplace or institution. We have places like Msingi early intervention centers that do training for teachers, especially if you are a learning institution and you do accept people on the spectrum or ADHD students or dyslexia students. It is important for you to have places, rooms, or even equipments that can help these children while in school. So I'm calling out to all institutions. If you've not trained your employees on neuro inclusivity, if your workplace does not reflect neuro inclusivity, does not accept or is not a place that someone with autism can come in, then kindly reach out to me and we'll arrange for a training for your people at your workplace. If you are a school and you are seeking to train your teachers on how to be neuro inclusive in terms of how to take care of maybe autistic persons, how to make sure that throughout the day their sensory input is in check, how to even train your students in terms of other pupils on how best to look after these children. What are some of the cases that children will see and they can come report to the teacher? Because if you have a big field, you may not have enough teachers to look out for, these autistic persons, dyslexia persons, but you can train your children in the school to watch out and to be, a brother's keeper when it comes to staying with people on the spectrum or basically neurodivergent persons. Reach out to me. Let's partner up and create a world that is neuro inclusive to every person so that no people or no person is left behind. I am a neurodivergent advocate. I do advocate for neuro inclusivity, and Edna Myra is my name. I'm waiting to hear from you.